Hey everybody, if you patiently avoided the big losses of January in the market, you probably were rewarded very nicely if you got into the particular stocks that we got into last week. Hey, this is Dennis, the active trend trader. We've got 4 stocks to share with you today. Watch the video all the way to the end. And notice we've changed the name and the title of this video and the live stream that goes with it. We are no longer how to make money trading stocks. I wanted to focus on wealth building. So we are now trade your way to wealth and financial freedom. You ready to go? Let's jump into today's session right now. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilburn, the active trend trader. I want to welcome you to the new, I'm changing the name of our weekly session. One is to trade your way to wealth and financial freedom. I think it speaks so much more clearly to the defined goal of what we need to add into our trading plans and trading systems, because a lot of times trading plans, trading systems, they forget about that important part. What the heck are you trading for? I mean, hopefully you're trading to generate wealth and then therefore financial freedom for both yourself and your family. So that's our focus. I want to welcome our panel today, Anil Parikh from Delaware. Hi, Anil.
Good to be here, enjoying the sessions.
All right. And then Steve Farrar.
Likewise, happy to be here.
And so we've got the market has done a remarkable thing this week, folks. It is back in confirmed uptrend according to Investor Business Daily. That means that you should, we had the first rally attempt was actually Monday of last week. And then within that 4 to 7 day period or something like that, we had a follow through day, and we were already starting to inch our way into specific trades. One of the things that I was sharing with the guys and sharing with everybody is that my system took me into 4 of the top 5 stocks that we actually had orders on. And so I'm really pleased with that. So start your weekly review with trade your way to wealth and financial freedom. I encourage you, let people know that, we're on air every Friday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. It's real early over here in the islands. What time is it? About 9 o'clock in the morning. But we're here to share basically a review of the indexes, stock picks for the week. Both Anil and Steve are absolutely fantastic stock pickers, and then trading tips that will save you time and hopefully money. And so, a simple ask from me, invite your friends to join us. And I've added a little nuance here, is this little puppy right here. You can take your phone and turn the camera on, point it at this QR code, and it will actually take you away to the Market Tech Talk YouTube channel. And then while you're there, if you could just join us on that platform, and that's where we put our recordings up during the week for the Trade Your Way to Wealth and Financial Freedom. So I want to welcome everybody. We got a lot of stuff to kick in today. I'll give you a couple of seconds to make a snapshot of that. And let me know how it's working. I did a test flight on it, and it seemed to work out pretty good. So again, you just take your camera, your smartphone, turn the camera on, point it at the QR code, and it will say, what do you want to do with that? And then you can just say, hey, take me to Market Tech Talk. So what are we looking at doing? Peter Brandt's saying still holds. One of the things that I am continuing to work on, one of the reasons why I'm changing the name of this webinar or this live stream is because I keep running into people who leave the concept of generating wealth off of their trading plan. It needs to be a congruent part of your trading plan. Here's where we were sitting last week. As you can see, we were up just a little bit, but with the new fills, now we are basically jumping up a little bit more for the first week of February, and again, well ahead of the S&P. The S&P also started to creep up, and we'll look at the charts right now to see what the heck's going on with the indexes. Let me run over here, and there we go. Okay, I am really liking the spiders to the upside, and I'll explain why that is here shortly. One of the reasons why is we had a move up. Okay, this was the day of the first rally attempt, and then I think on this day here, which was actually I think it was Tuesday, where we spiked up a little bit more. That's when we had our follow-through day. Came on up, hit the 50, right where we expected to stalled. But today we're getting a very nice recovery move off of what? The 200-day moving average. So with that said, I'm really looking at this is a very positive move. If we close where we are at, the TSI, on the weekly chart, with daily chart, will continue to be in a open position to the upside, which is a positive bullish signal. And what we're having is what I call a bullish squeeze on it. It hasn't crossed to the downside, although it was looking like it wanted to yesterday, but it's not doing that. And so that's very positive. And so how would I want to trade the spiders? If I was, I would look towards some kind of move back into the midsection of today's candlestick, and off of the 8-day moving average approximately. That would be an excellent place to jump on a potential trade if you wanted to trade the spiders. Same thing over here on the weekly chart. What's happening is 2 weeks ago we had a 2-line cluster on the TSI, on the market forecast. And what's the rule? Sometime between 1 and 4 trading periods after that, and since this is the weekly chart, you're going to get a reversal. It happened on the next week. That is bouncing up. And as long as we, just watch it to see if we're going to hang right in there about the 200-day moving average. But again, I'd be looking at risking jumping into a position about midsection of today's candle. That's 448. With a stop just immediately below the 200-day moving average. Moving on to the next choice. I know Steve's probably going, I can't believe Dennis is being this bullish.
A little bit early, but I agree with you.
So same thing on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq on the Qs is represented. We targeted actually a trade on our Nasdaq, falling down into the midsection of, this move from low to high here. It was a classic move, as you'll see here. We bounced up, hanging man at resistance, rolled back over, gap down, hit yesterday's low, held, and so then it's starting to move back up again. I like the Nasdaq a little bit better than the S&P. I would use a similar technique, some kind of a pullback into the body of today's candlestick. Could even be the midsection about the 356 level, and because we're getting a bullish squeeze on momentum. And oftentimes what that means is bullish squeeze of momentum will result in a continuation to the upside. So what's our target to the upside? Let me give you just a real quick taste of that, and then we'll jump over to remove that drawing, and I'll just take a Fibonacci here. And if today's low is the main, the real low, or the most important low on the reversal, then I can go in here and get an extension up. And if we get a symmetry of move from this low to this high, that puts us up at about 387. Isn't it interesting? Look to your left. That's an old level of resistance. That's where I would expect, if this move continues up, I would expect it to start stalling out about 379, 380, up to about 388. Then it may do another reversal down to the other downside. However, by that time, it will be back above all the significant, important moving averages. Note, Q's still operating below the 200-day moving average. And then last but not least, IWM. And you have to type it in there correctly, Dennis. There we go, IWM. Similar type situation, weakest of all. Yeah, Barry, that's a great question. And I'll come back to that in just a second. IWM, we are basically also getting another retest. IWM may give us another spring-loaded up to the upside. And so I would say it was toss-up between the Russell and the Nasdaq. And so Barry asked a very important question. If prior to the close, we basically started moving back down towards the lows of today, then would my bullish view change? It would definitely modify it somewhat. We put on the Qs back on here. Because, yeah, if we drop back down, like if we drop back down below the halfway point of today's candlestick, my expectations would change to that. That may be an indication that we're going to actually break out the bottom here. And so that would be my modification to my thoughts on that. And again, we'll have to wait till the end of the day, but that's a great question to ask. And that's one of the reasons why I encourage people, don't trade candlesticks the first hour of the day, especially the daily candlesticks, first couple hours, because they're not done yet. So, okay, I'm gonna shut up. What do you guys think?
I agree with you, and I agree with you on the change of sentiment if the charts weaken into the close. Yeah.
Right on.
I don't think we're clearly bullish, but it's looking bullish.
Okay. Anil?
Yeah, the charts, I was happy the market went in confirmed uptrend. My triple screen system still has not confirmed it, so I'm kind of optimistically enthusiastic.
Okay. Does your triple screen system, does it tend to lag the move just a little bit? The initial move?
But particularly if it's a very fast move, then the triple screen will lag.
Okay. So, okay, guys, let's jump into the stock picks for today. And Steve, you get to go first.
Okay, I like BBL. It's Billiton. It's in a sector that's been strong for a while. We're in a nice trend. I think with the interest rate rising scenario and the more importance or reliance on commodities, or earth-driven materials, I like Billiton.
Okay.
I love the pullback it's having today, right to the 20-period moving average. I think it's a reversal bar today. I'd be entering end of day today, if not today, on Monday.
Okay.
But I'm entering right now.
So you're entering right now. Okay.
Right now, unless this really, and that would change my mind if we have a below 50% range close, that would change my mind. But I like it right now, this instant, and all morning. Yeah. So
Steve, now if you did enter right now, where would your stop loss be?
Under today's low.
Under today's low. And how much of a leeway do you give under today's low? 10 cents? 5 cents? Okay. Yeah. So that's one thing that Steve does an excellent job on, everybody, is we'll basically look at this and go, okay, hey, I'm going to jump on this trade. I have my signal. It's bouncing off the 20-day moving average. I'm good to go. However, he also has his insurance policy, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Is that
I'm only right 55% of the time.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, if he gets in right now, where is, let's just do a real quick note. How far is, you can see that, a nickel below, he's less than 2% away. So, excellent job. So that is far, and that's fantastic. So the little tip I have for everybody for this week is, you may want to trade the bounces off of the moving averages. Yeah. Be aware though that when the day starts, okay, the moving average will move up or it will move down based on the price action. A lot of times when you see these charts at the end of the day and it looks, oh, look at that, it came right down and just touched it perfectly. That wasn't the same picture earlier in the day. Right. So one of the things to do is estimate where, or if you can find a level of past support, like I like this one right there, because that's a gap up measure. And that is where it gapped up here. It came back and retested, and now it's reclaiming it. And so this may be ready to go. And this is with the wick on the bottom and a lot of volume. That is actually a bullish signal.
Very bullish, yeah. I love the volume coming in, highest volume on the chart.
And so I love it. The thoughts, but then I also look at, well, what's going on over here on the weeklies? And the weeklies, my longer term momentum is still hanging up on the market forecast. It looks like we may want to roll over just a little bit, but what did happen the last time the TSI rolled over on the weekly? Well, it just went sideways. So if it goes sideways in a little range, that's absolutely awesome, because that gives you what is this range here? Okay, that is almost 20% range. So if you can cut the middle out of that, 10, 15%, excellent. And then, so great pick, Steve. And it does have, just FYI for everybody, it does not have weekly options.
No.
And then
I think it's just monthly.
And so, okay, Anil. This is
also note the earnings is reasonably close. You need to pay attention to that.
Yes, earnings on this one, let me give it to you really quick, is on 2/14 at an unspecified time.
Right.
So, okay. This is an oldie but a goodie, and BBL, yeah, I think it's BHP Group.
Yeah, Billiton, whatever. Yeah.
It's an oil company, right?
Resources, a mining company.
Okay.
Like Rio Tinto.
So, okay, what you got going here, Anil?
Seagate, it's meets a couple of my toughest screen and probably will end up at top of the Delaware focus list. We'll see.
Okay.
How others behave, but it has if you look at the daily chart, it has right at the 50-day, 21-day EMA, 80 EMA, everything is right there, and that's where the stock is getting support and very tough on fundamentals also. So that's what I'm going with.
So are you buying right now?
Yep.
Okay, I like it. We get a nice bounce. Give us an idea. If 4% takes you down below the 50-day moving average, so you have some leeway there. This is one of those that also does have weekly options on it if you're an option trader. So that's good. So Barry brought up BH, and I'm going to go over. Hold on a second. So great pick, Anil. I like it. And be aware, guys, that it has run into resistance up here at the 115 up to 117, almost at 118 level. And so let me look at BHP.
It's BHP Billiton, but it's BBL.
That's interesting.
The BHP group, BBL. I think they used to be BH something, but I think it's changed. I was surprised also.
Yeah, it looks like there's two of them there. That's interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. So it's going to be under one of those two. So, okay, well, I've got a couple of stocks. I'm going to go run through them really, really fast, and so we can go on to the rest of the day. And first, I'm going to give you the bullish stock. Da-da-da-da. There you go. Now you may look at this and go, that doesn't look very bullish, Dennis. But what's happening is appears as if, and here's part of the reasons why I'm not hugely bullish on Bitcoin, but I do think it is not going to sleep. It's not going anywhere. So this is one of the Bitcoin plays. Go take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin futures. A nice move back up to the upside right here. And longer term, the weeklies looking really good, like we're going to get a strong reversal of momentum. And so we know we're close. So I like coin to the upside. Let me give you an idea on this. I am not buying it right where it's at. What I'll look to do is I'll look to buy it about midway into the today's candlestick, which is about the 186, somewhere between 181 and 186. If we drop the low of today, I would be out of there. But again, look over here. Go in the middle of the weekly candle, about 185. And if I then, it's about a 5.5–6% drop to take out the low. The other thing it's got going on it, is it does have good weekly options. And so this is my pick. I think that it, it appears as if it is getting ready to move and it's starting to show some positive signs. And I know if that, so that's my pick. That's one of them. My other one is a bearish pick. And the company that I love to hate, Facebook, with all their paid for fact checkers.
You and everyone else.
So what do we got going here? Okay. This is a nasty gap down. And what happened after earnings is Facebook, I think it was their revenue expectations had dropped. And so when you get a big gap down like this, what should you expect? Well, typically you're going to get some kind of a move back up towards the midsection of the gap down, about halfway point. So where is that? That's about the 267 area. So I'm going to put an alert about the 260 level and then look at it again at that point. Look for a stalling. And so the other thing I can do is see this where it came out of this congestion area to the upside. Well, I can go in the middle of that and just draw a line across. And it's going to be about, somewhere about there. And so that gives me, again, another target. What is it? 260. And if we then stall out on that, I would look for a downside trade on that. If you want to see a similar type of situation, take a look at your buddy Netflix. Did I do that right? No. Because they also disappointed on theirs. And look what happens. We got a nice move up into the midsection of the drop down day, and then basically a move back down to the downside of about $48. And so you can really jump onto a good option trade with that particular situation. So, gentlemen, what do you think? I think we got some good picks today.
All right. It's the market's looking very good, I think.
And so
I agree with much what you said.
Anil?
Yeah, as I said, I'm optimistic and the picks are good, and let's see what happens.
Okay. So, hey, just want to remind everybody that, traders should always paper trade, and all materials are presented for training purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital, and past performance is not an indication or a promise of future performance. One announcement. On Tuesday, we have the Bay Area Moneymakers meeting at 6:30 Pacific time. That's California time. And Floyd Dameron, who is the Anchorage, Alaska meetup, IBD meetup facilitator, he's going to be making a really great presentation. He's shown me some of his work that he's done with using stochastics to trade leverage ETFs. Amazing results. And so it's something you're going to want to get onto. And if you need an invite to that, just drop me an email and you know where my... So, yeah, Barry, on Netflix, from here, yeah, I'd have to do a complete analysis on that. But right now it's... So, okay, awesome, David. Already registered for the BAM. Yeah, I sent out the notes on that. Neil's pick was STX, Phil, and Steve's pick was BBL. That's Bravo, Bravo, Lima. So again, if you want to get, nobody told me I had misspelled persistence. I'm really disappointed. No. Anyway, to everybody, aloha, God bless. Stephen and Neil, thank you so very, very much. And again, I put a QR code right here. Take your smartphone and turn your camera on, and that'll take you to a link for the Market Tech Talk YouTube channel. So aloha, God bless everybody. We'll see you next week. Stephen and Neil, look forward to seeing you in the near future on something.
Thank you. Wonderful.